Cincinnati and Memphis State until the conception of the Great Midwest Conference. And now that it is one of the greater rivalries in this entire USA.
Corey Blunt and Anthony Hardaway will jump things off. Last time Blunt played in this building, he broke the rim. 54-minute delay.
And you and I both were here.
And both filling time. Smith went high to get the tip from Hardaway. Memphis State with a chance to draw first blood.
Cincinnati starting off in a man-to-man defense, very aggressive. Normally they will switch, and they will also look to try to trap whenever possible.
Hardaway missed the three and slows down Jackson. He's steady, isn't he?
Alan Jackson has been the most consistent Bearcat for Bob Huggins' basketball team. Doesn't do anything fancy. What he does give you is very consistent and confident play.
Corey Blunt, since he's come back, has played terrifically, and they got the pass inside, and here's your second leading scorer, Eric Martin, who seems to be the quiet guy in this group.
Eric Martin did not play in the last game.
There was a fine pass inside to Douglas from Hardaway, but knocked away. Good defense by the Bearcats.
Bearcats are obviously going to try to exploit their press and trap and try to force Memphis State into some turnovers. The fans wanted a foul as Eric Martin knocked the ball out of bounds.
Derek, if you've lost 4 times in a row to pretty much the same team minus Herb Jones, is it important to get to a good start, or do you start thinking, uh-oh, here we go again?
No, you do, Dave. You have to get off to a great start, and I think it's really important for Memphis State to get their perimeter game going. Their inside game is not as strong as Cincinnati's, and that's what the Bearcats, I think, are going to try to exploit. Inside, get as many layups or as many open shots as possible.
Billy Smith forced the shot on the other end, and Van Exel let it fly, and there's a foul underneath.
As I talked about, Eric Martin as well as Curtis Bostic did not play the last Cincinnati game against Austin Peay. Take a look at the outside jump shot going up by Nick Van Exel, trying to come down and get a shot before Memphis State has a chance to set their defense. Anthony Douglas gets called with that push-off foul.
Using his big body to knock somebody down. Alley-oop inside. There was the defense by Hardaway, who knocked it out of bounds. Anthony, oh, he plays all the court, doesn't he?
He does such an outstanding job for Larry Finch's basketball team. He just has to have very strong shoulders, because without David Vaughn inside, it's difficult for the Tigers to get consistent scoring.
First game of the year, Vaughn, the big sophomore, 6'10", shot blocker, defensive player, inside player with a sweet touch, too. From the outside, went down with the anterior cruciate. You see Bob Huggins concerned with some sloppy play there by the Bearcats.
It's good defense. Give credit to Billy Smith for creating and forcing that turnover.
Smith this time a little wiser with the shot selection.
That's going to be important, I think, for the Tigers to get good shots, make sure their feet are set, and try to get as good a spacing as they can between themselves and the Cincinnati defense.
Cincinnati just doesn't let you breathe in this man-to-man.
Not very often.
Allen, not a shooter, looks for some help, and there's the guy they always go to. 13 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Smith had an opening for a second, forced it, and the rebound comes right back to Billy. The elevator man missed again. He's 0 for 3 in the game now.
That's an ingredient that Corey Blunt, being now inside for Cincinnati, has given Bob Huggins' basketball team. Before he arrived, the team had 10 block shots. Now that he's there, they have a total of 21 block shots.
What a move by Van Exel, and it's 4-0 Cincinnati, and I don't think you can make a nicer play than that.
Going in against Anthony Douglas, Van Exel wanted to get the ball up on the glass.
That time they got it into Douglas, and he finally gets Memphis State on the scoreboard. 4-2.
Billy Smith showed great patience with that, giving a head fake across court and finding Anthony Douglas streaking to the basket. That's an area I think that the Bearcats may be susceptible to, is backdoors, because they overplay so much.
Tough pass. Actually, that was a good move by Martin, who had beaten Hardaway, but the pass wasn't there, and another turnover that is unlike Cincinnati. Here's Finch. He's pacing. Memphis State will try to knot things up on this possession, and the pressure sort of token by Cincinnati.
They just want to force enough pressure so that you have to now utilize the clock to get a shot off.
Smith, the three, and he's fouled. He'll get 3.
Not a good move by Eric Martin to foul, first of all, but to foul a jump shooter beyond the three-point stripe. Bob Huggins is not very happy with that play. Look at the pass going up by Coles, getting Billy Smith on the outside. Eric Martin going up trying to defend. A pretty good job of acting by Billy Smith, but he did what was necessary to draw that foul.
Well, the thing about Martin is you don't want to touch the guy when he's at three-point range, number one. And number two, a guy who is already 0 for 3 for the night. Let him take his shot.
Don't let him get on a roll.
Smith, a 64% free throw shooter? No. It remains 4-2. The pace appears to be a game that would end up in the 60s, and that's really what both teams like.
Absolutely, because both teams have been playing such good defense. They want to keep the score obviously as close as they can, but it's going to come down to who takes better care of the basketball and who rebounds the ball best on both ends.
Billy Smith very tight, you can tell. 0 for 3 from the field and is 0 for 2 from the line. Now finally he's on the scoreboard. It's a 1-point game, and Memphis State shows some pressure for the first time.
Talked to the Cincinnati coaches last night. They want to see pressure being applied.
And a turnover. You know, a lot of times pressing teams are not good at pressure.
Absolutely.
Inside, a foul. It's on Cincinnati.
You're right about that, Dave, and many people have talked about that Cincinnati, as good as they like to press, have difficulty with pressure. Eric Martin is not able to get his hand on the ball, and Penny strips it away. Good defense by Hardaway to get the ball into possession of Memphis State. He's trying to attack now and gets fouled from the back.
Smith will take the three again. It's a brick. Allen saves the day for Memphis State.
Billy Smith seems to be a little impatient with his shot right now. If he is able to get his feet set, he does a great job with facing the hoop.
Missed it. Hardaway had the rebound momentarily, knocked away by Corey Blunt. It belongs to Memphis State in a new shot clock. 16:43 to go in the first half. 4-3 Cincinnati.
Rebounding is absolutely critical for both of these ball clubs.
Allen went up, and Allen draws the foul. That's the third foul on Cincinnati now in the game.
Both teams with 3 fouls.
This one on Bostic, so that's number 2 on Curtis Bostic. He looks to me a little bit like a boxer. He's from Brockton, Massachusetts. Isn't that where Marvin Hagler was from?
Absolutely, you're right. Curtis was a kickboxing champion in high school. Yes, he was. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tremendous athlete, but needs to be more assertive.
Terry Nelson into the game, who was a starter until Corey Blunt came back. And Calvin Allen, who had a string of 19 straight free throws, snapped 2 games ago. Now back in form. He's had 3 in a row since the string came to an end.
Shooting about 75% from the free throw line.
Nails them both. And so, for the first time today, Memphis State leads. 5-4 your score. 3.5 minutes or thereabouts gone. Pressure again. Produced a turnover. Last time Cincinnati had the ball, nearly another one there as Gibson finally gets through traffic. Van Exel, oh, is he tough. He leaves it for Blunt. Good passing, and Martin with the jam.
Cincinnati getting proper spacing that time, looking up the floor, trying to take advantage of Memphis State's pressure.
Hey, Blunt, the big guy, got back and took away the football pass, and Van Exel works on Hardaway, and that were all knocked away. It went off the hand of Penny. He thought it was touched by Martin, and that's what Larry Finch is arguing about.
That was a good call. Ball was not touched by Martin. Penny did get a hand on it, but he does a tremendous job with his defense, using his hands and moving his feet.
Van Exel got a pick. He got away from Billy Smith, missed it, and Douglas got the rebound. Look at the double team and the foul on Terry Nelson. This one's going to go to the wire. I got the feeling. That's it.
The rivalry with these two teams is wonderful. Anthony Douglas is going to get his hands on his ball, and Terry Nelson is going to stay in, trying to tip it away. A foul is called on the reach-in.
Number 4 on Cincinnati, and we're not 4 minutes into this first half.
Free throws are going to be important for both of these clubs.
Hardaway, the good pass, and Smith hung, couldn't get it to go. Billy Smith cannot buy a basket so far today. He is now 0 for 6.
Pulling up for the jump shot, he chose to attack the basket, and that's one way that you can regain your confidence. Try to get a higher percentage shot, which obviously is going to be closer to the hoop.
That was called, I believe, on Mike Harris in the game. According to the scoreboard, anyway.
Yes.
Billy Smith to the line, and Smith now 2 for 4 from the stripe.
making that a third of 3 free throws the first time. Billy Smith now is starting to find his range from the line, only shooting about 64% on the year from free throw line.
Nailed them both. Memphis State regains the lead with 16:03 left to go in the half. Oh, Gibson got away from Douglas on the pressure. Allen with the block.
Great job by Kelvin Allen.
Number 2 shot blocker in the league, and a whistle and a foul on Memphis State. And it's on Anthony Douglas, and he's 1 point.
Right to engine parts.
Anthony Douglas, and he's 1 point.
Right to engine parts. Independent.
Can get. Well, this game is about as good as it can get defensively. There's some nerves, I sense, Derek Dickey, but 7-6 to score. Look at Cincinnati shooting. Wow.
Well, they're shooting the ball well in the paint right now. They have 6 points inside the painted area. Memphis State only has 2, which I think is going to be a very important area for both teams to try to control. Memphis State's gotten a couple second chance stickbacks. Cincinnati is not able to get one yet.
Interesting, the rebound's so even, and Memphis State has missed those shots, but the Bearcats have committed 3 turnovers. The Tigers but 1. Great move by Van Exel on Billy Smith.
That's a problem that most teams are susceptible to. When you overplay, when you get overplayed, you need to look backdoor.
Allen, no, he missed the layup. Got it back again, then taken right away. 8-7 Cincinnati. Sidney Coles with the steal. Here's the long pass. Hardaway, alley-oop, and Smith put it away.
That's one way for Memphis State to get this crowd inspired. Take advantage of Cincinnati not covering back.
Well, Blunt will silence the crowd in a hurry. Corey Blunt's first bucket. Pace picking up.
Whenever you have 2 teams that like to press and trap, you're going to see a lot of back doors.
Sidney Coles doesn't take a whole lot of shots. He got it down low. No room for Douglas, though. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 25 seconds to go. Cincinnati, you don't catch them napping too often.
This is going to be a wide open game because of the great athletes that both coaches have out there on the floor.
Oh, Allen, the nice cut. Missed another layup. Knocked away by Cincinnati, and Memphis State gets a new shot clock. Bob Huggins is going berserk.
Bob Huggins felt like the ball was tipped by Anthony Douglas.
Gerald Horn into the game. Anthony Douglas takes a seat. Remember, he's got the 2 fouls. Hardaway sends it out, and Memphis State will work the clock a little bit. Hardaway doesn't work it. He just pops. No, he missed it. He's scoreless so far in the game. 10-9 Cincinnati.
Coles and Kevin Allen are not even looking at the basket, and I think they're going to have to in order for Memphis State to be competitive in this game.
Nelson missed the layup, much like Kelvin Allen has missed a couple. Look at the move by Kenny. Skates in and got it to go.
The NBA is waiting. Regardless of when Anthony Hardaway comes into the league, someone in the NBA is going to want to put him on their roster.
You know, you watch this guy, every night he does something different. You say, how'd he do that? It's incredible.
He is fun to watch.
There's Van Exel to answer. No, and the rebound comes back to Cincinnati. Don't give that guy an inch. He is incredible. But the tip in, I think, to Corey Blunt.
Corey Blunt. Cincinnati following their shot, but still not getting back to cover on defense. Memphis State's taking advantage.
Inside foul. Martin begging Babiola for the travel. It didn't go that way. It went against Martin. His second.
Memphis State, I think, is doing a great job at attacking the basket. Whenever Cincinnati misses their shot, the first thing they're doing is looking up the court. Billy Smith is going to take advantage, get inside, draw the defense, and look for the dish. Eric Martin thought he got the ball. You make the call. He doesn't look too happy about that.
I love the expression, though. And Kelvin Allen misses his first free throw tonight. He is now 2 of 3. Cincinnati. Billy Smith gets a rest, and into the game Rodney Newsom, a freshman from Hamilton High School here in Memphis. And the Tigers continue to really recruit within the area. Almost everybody from the city of Memphis on this team.
Rodney Newsom had a career-high 25 points against Tulane. Very good basketball player.
Allen nails that second. Wouldn't you know it, we're tied. 13-19 left in the first half. Cincinnati handles the Memphis State pressure a little better this time.
If you're patient with the basketball, whenever you're being pressed, try to get the ball to the middle of the court. It gives you better avenues for distributing the basketball.
They've got Hardaway on Van Exel now. Knocked away. Who touched it last? Steve Wellmer was very poignant about saying which way it was going. There was no hesitancy there.
He and Andre Patillo both made the same call.
Eric Martin with those 2 fouls takes a seat on the bench. Ooh, that pained look. I love it. He's wears his emotions on his face. That was a brick by Gibson, and Hardaway comes up with the ball and sends it down court in a hurry. That was not a smart pass.
No, it was not. Memphis State is trying to exploit Cincinnati not getting back. That's an area where you have to be cautious and also conservative at times.
Stays 12 all. Pulls the freshman on Gibson. Harris getting some playing time today. Oh, what a move by Van Exel on Penny, and then the foul. It's on Hardaway. That'll be Anthony Hardaway's first.
I think Van Exel and Hardaway are accepting a playground challenge out here today. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
This is Leon Mitchell who comes in. He's a junior from Overton High School here in Memphis. He's a defensive specialist. When the Tigers were in the doldrums about a month and a half ago, he became the catalyst for the team. The way Martin scowls, this kid smiles. He's got a toothpaste commercial type of smile.
Leon Mitchell, originally a walk-on, has earned a scholarship by Larry Finch, and everybody tells me he's just done a tremendous job with his work ethic and his attitude. Great player to have on your team.
Van Exel gives Cincinnati the lead back, 13-12. I love watching this guy play too.
Van Exel?
Yeah, he's always in control, so quick. Never lets you know what's on his mind until they win. That was almost backcourt.
Yeah, almost.
Ooh. Van Exel almost took it away. Memphis State does handle the pressure, and look at Hardaway go again. Missed it. Tried to get it back, but a tough rebound inside. Horn stole it away. Here's the 3 by Hardaway, well short. And the foul, I think, on Newsom over the back.
Memphis State is doing a great job at crashing the offensive boards. If Cincinnati's able to get their hands on it, they might be able to exploit having more offensive players and defense going the other way, but the Tigers are doing a great job at just keeping the ball alive.
You're right about the offensive boards, 5 out of their 8, although Cincinnati leads the total 9-8. And Mitchell now on Van Exel, so Hardaway gets a little bit of a breather there. Concentrate on his offense. He's scoreless. Near steal that time by Mitchell.
Cincinnati has a young man in the game, Lazelle Durden, number 23.
That was a travel on Corey Blunt. 11:43 left to go in the first half. Larry Finch is sweating. He's got things going. It's because they shoot so well, huh?
And no, it certainly is not because they shoot so well. It's because of their defense. They work very, very hard in practice as well as during the games on their team conception of defense, and they do a great job with execution.
And you see him set up that defense that Derek's talking about right now. Hardaway will go at it with Van Exel. And that was pretty easy pressure. And Mitchell sees the double team now, though, and almost threw it away. There's Gerald Horn, and he traveled. That won't count. Larry Finch frustrated.
Looked like pretty good execution till you get to the point of the travel, but Leon Mitchell took the ball to the baseline, almost got sealed off, but did a great job to find the middle of the Cincinnati zone defense.
Memphis State's pressure is token as well. Cincinnati a 2-point lead. There's the turnovers. They've been a part of the story early on. Blunt. Boy, that thing was a line drive straight through like a string. He's got 6.
Corey Blunt has the ability at 6 foot 10 inches to shoot a jump shot from about 10 or 15 feet from the basket.
Pressure, it belongs to Memphis State. Near steal there. That's impressive how every one of these guys is about 6'6", about 220. They look like all-around athletes.
They are very good athletes that Bob Huckins has, and you know, Larry Finch, I think, has some tremendous athletes who have the ability to go after the basketball.
That's the freshman Newsom. You mentioned he had 25 against Tulane. He can really rainbow them in.
Great range on his jump shot. Another player out of Memphis, Tennessee, able to follow through, and he's going to have to pick up his game in order to help Larry Finch's ball club.
Van Exel quick on quick there with Mitchell. forced that one and got it anyway. Van Exel with 8.
Bob Huggins is very concerned about the shot selection at time by Nick Van Exel, but he does have a green light because of his ability to score.
3-point game. Well, Newsome again. He's got no conscience. Missed it. Look at Van Exel trying to save. Couldn't do it. It's Memphis State's basketball. The biggest lead in the game so far was Cincinnati by 4. Memphis State has led by 2 twice in the contest. Currently a 3-point game with the Tigers. Seeing if they can cut in on that.
The Tigers, I still feel, you know, one, they're going to have to attack the Cincinnati pressure, but get the ball inside the painted area. I think that's going to be really important, just like that.
You're a prophet. As soon as you call for it, they got it inside the penny. That'll be Gibson's foul. And that's the first on Terrence Gibson, the senior from Dothan, Alabama. He's halfway home down here in Memphis.
Well, shooting the higher percentage shots obviously is going to help the team. Memphis State as a team is shooting about 56% from the field, but if you get inside that 10-15-foot area, it's going to help the team get a lot more confidence because you will be able to shoot a higher percentage.
Hardaway, normally a very high percentage from the line, close to 83%. Look at those numbers, would you? He's had 2 triple-doubles this year. 6 times in his career he's had 30-point games. Second one from Penny will go, and so it's a 2-point game. Cincinnati with the ball and the lead.
I like what Penny's done in the classroom. He's made the dean's list, took away all the honors of the team at their recent award banquet.
It's a great story. Here comes transition basketball for Memphis State, and Newsome. He really had no chance on that one, and the foul on Memphis State. You're talking about Penny in the classroom.
Yes.
Here's a guy who was a Prop 48, who was a presidential exception to get into the school, and now is on the dean's list.
Take a look at the turnover by Cincinnati. Memphis State coming up with this basketball. Anthony Hardaway is going to attack, which is what you should do right after a turnover. Going in for the shot, a little bit out of control, just trying to get the ball up on the board as Newsome comes back and compounds his problem by committing the foul.
That's the second on the freshman. I think it was frustration after he looked bad on the layup attempt. There's a double team. Leon Mitchell almost got away with one, but Babiola says, no, I saw you get him on the arm.
That was very close. Newsome had his hand on the basketball as he stripped it away. Babiola did discover a foul in there, but again, give Memphis State credit for the pressure they're applying.
That's the 6th team foul on Memphis State. Cincinnati with 7, so we'll be shooting from here on out.
The young man with the ball, Lizelle Durden. Yeah, he's a very exciting story. And that Lizelle Durden averaged 39 points a game in high school.
Knocked away. Here's another kid who was a Prop 48 player. So many times, Derek, it seems when you have that Prop 48 year off, first of all, there's a stigma about it, and they worry about that because they know they're brighter than what sometimes people think, and then you're rusty. And it happened with Durden, and what, has he played like lights out the last 6-7 games?
Yes, he shot the ball very, very well the last 4 or 5 games. He had a big game against Miami of Ohio, scoring 22 points at 1 point in the game. He scored 15 straight of Cincinnati points.
Billy Smith with a nice dish, and Allen, no. Horn tries to keep it alive. We've got a whistle. It's a foul on Cincinnati. Andre Patia says it goes against the young man we were just talking about, Lizelle Durden from Toledo, Ohio. He was really sought after by just about every team in the country.
But again, because of his grades, wasn't able to go directly in and be a contributor. But as you talked about, anytime a player sets out for an entire year, the signs of rust, you know, not having game competition is going to show. And it takes about 8 to 10 games before you get into the flow.
Story from the line in the game thus far. Mitchell is 69% free throw shooter. That's a big 1-and-1 for Memphis State. The gap down to 1 point, and here he can tie it.
You know the Tigers are going to continue to turn up the pressure on the Bearcats for the very reason that they forced a couple of turnovers.
They call him Neon Leon because his face lights up so much when he does well. Carelessness there. If Memphis State had pressure, they would have had a turnover. And Exel to work. That was good defense. If that goes in, it's just a great shot.
It was great defense by Marcus Nolan to actually tip that ball away from Van Exel.
Hardaway, great pass. Douglas inside, and Memphis State regains the lead.
That's what Penny Hardaway does so well. You get to watch him. You're watching and watching, waiting for him to make a move. And when he draws the defense and mesmerizes you, he attacks by hitting someone backdoor.
8.5 to go in this first half. Crowd into the game now big time. Blunt trying to find somebody open. Nelson the finger roll. No. Smith with the rebound. He wants to run. Lost the ball, but Horn saved it. Notice every time Memphis State moves, somebody is on Hardaway. Jackson guarding him now. He's had a couple of people on him. The pass, Douglas, no, and the rebound to Cincinnati.
Great job by Penny Hardaway. And the problem you have with a player like Van Exel and Hardaway, who are such gifted passers, is their teammates are oftentimes not ready to receive that basketball.
Douglas, the rebound for Memphis State.
It's another one of those ill-advised shots that Bob Huggins does not like to see when it's taken with too much time on the shot clock.
Memphis State by 1. Hardaway to work. Smith wide open. Got it.
That shot should take the lid off for Billy Smith and give him confidence to be able to look for that jumper that he's famous for.
Harris and Gibson set to come back in. The crowd going crazy, and we've got a timeout. Memphis State with their biggest lead a year ago, just about a year ago to this date. And they were knocked off by Memphis State. They were 5th ranked. Cincinnati comes in 4th ranked, and the crowd the same way it was a year ago. It's electric in here, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
Gibson got roughed as he went into the middle. They do a great job of sending that guard in, then faking to go out and flashing back inside.
That's what you have to do whenever you're being overplayed. One, you want to try to establish the position on the floor that you want to receive the ball. If it's not available to you, go back door.
Foul, I believe, on Gerald Horn, his first. So Gibson with a 1-and-1. Yes. He's steady as well. Terrence Gibson, a great shooter from the outside for a guard, 59% or thereabouts.
Shooting very, very well from the field right now. Not shooting very well from the free throw line at only 46%.
Now 7 of 14 on the year, so he moves up a notch. And that one won't go. Oh, did you see the work inside by Harris to keep that thing alive? That won't go. Horn can't get the rebound. Little Gibson got it back and then stepped on the baseline.
Joe Horn's a little upset with himself for not coming down with that rebound, but he did a great job to hold his position and force another Bearcat turnover.
Twice he mistimed his jump. Here's the pressure. Yeah, Mitchell trying to beat it by himself. Finally get it to Douglas, who, by the way, can dribble for a big man. You see there. Look at that move. No. Knocked away. It's Cincinnati's ball. 21-19. The Bearcats can tie here.
Bob Huggins wanted an over the back foul on Memphis State that time.
This coach is relatively calm considering this game has been so close.
Both are extremely animated under normal circumstances.
There's Harris, who played a lot before Corey Blunt came back. There's a steal by Hardaway. That's his second in the game. And what a pass! It won't count, but we'll remember it anyway because it was about as pretty as you're going to see.
Penny Hardaway taking the defender with him, uses his left hand to make an outstanding behind the back pass. Is he fun to watch coming right into your living room? Alan Jackson picks up the foul, but put that on the highlight film.
And he is right-handed, in case you were wondering. Hardaway fouled, though, before the pass, so he'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Played for 2 from the stripe and only 3 points so far in the game.
Hardaway played with the United States developmental squad against the Dream Team this past summer, and several of the NBA players, including Larry Bird the other night, said he is probably the best college basketball player in the game today.
Magic Johnson said, when I look at him, it's like looking in the mirror. Missed that one. Douglas got the rebound. Another offensive board for Memphis State. They've done a good job of that today.
Tigers want the basketball.
Smith, the three! And now a 6-point Memphis State lead, and that is their biggest. Cincinnati's biggest was by 4. You see the time for a moment there. Under 6:15. And they get it to Terrence Gibson, a good defense. And there is a 5-second call. And Memphis State is fired up.
Great defense.
Bob Huggins very concerned with the way his team is handling the pressure. Usually it's the opposite side of the coin. They're dishing out the heat. And I believe that Bob Huggins, Derek, has called timeout. 6:03 left to go in the half. Memphis State, their biggest lead. Now it is 6.
Recently, 1 million cases of Diet Pepsi were sent free.
The price of admission every time he plays.
Extremely quick hands, very gifted when it goes to attacking the basket, but is one of the better passers in this entire nation. Great steal, great finish.
And that was with his left hand, as you pointed out when he did it live. He's going to get a rest. That's the first breather for him. 4 points, 5 assists, and the steals. You mentioned he's had a few triple-doubles this year already.
Whenever Penny decides to come out of college, someone on the next level is waiting.
With a lot of money.
With $1 or $2.
Well, you know about that, don't you?
Puts you in. He'll go into your income bracket.
Oh, yeah. With Hardaway on the bench, Memphis State will have to scrap. Horn in the game. There's a steal. Sidney Coles will look up. Not a great score. Got it to Mitchell. Billy Smith will be the big scorer now. He's the second leading scorer on the team, so he becomes crucial when Hardaway's on the bench. And then Cincinnati knows it as they extend the pressure out.
Keith Gregor checks into the game for Cincinnati.
Mitchell, they didn't watch him.
That's a problem you have with overplays. You are so conscious of your man that you really don't play great team defense. Great opportunity for Mitchell to go right up the back of the Cincinnati defense.
Cincinnati's got to get something going now. Do you go to Van Exel here?
You try to get the ball inside the painted area to whoever's open. It can be Van Exel. It certainly doesn't have to be.
Smith guarding Van Exel. Now here's Gregor, who's a good shooter, but has struggled from three-point range. He tries to penetrate. No, in and out. Martin, though, got it.
An area that Cincinnati still needs to exploit a little bit more is get the ball inside the painted area and attack the basket.
The double team on Smith. He was knocked to the sideline. Now Steve Ballmer comes over, touches the shoulder of Gregor, and now has some words with Bob Huggins, who is not pleased at all.
Bob Huggins has the entire Memphis State student body behind him, and he was not happy with that call. The fans seem to enjoy it.
.33 on the shot clock. And Memphis State will try to run the offense. Nearly taken away. Cincinnati will smother you here.
Without Anthony Hardaway in the game, Memphis State needs a go-to guy. Is Billy Smith the answer?
They try to find him and do. 13 on that shot clock now. He's really the only creator out there. Coles with 7 seconds to go. There's an offensive foul.
Intentional foul.
Oh, my.
Elbow.
Oh, and Jackson just pushed Sidney Coles. Welmer, who is a big guy, the referee, comes in the middle. Larry Finch comes out to break things up as well. Here comes Bob Huggins to join in the crowd. Larry Finch is not going to let his team lose their cool. And Huggins is removing Jackson from the game. And look at him go. Bob Huggins is going off on Alan Jackson.
The reason for Bob Huggins going off on Alan Jackson is because he doesn't want him doing anything necessary to get put out of the game, and also doesn't want him to give the officials any reason to change the complexion of this game.
It is very rare indeed that you'll see an offensive charge called an intentional foul.
Because of the elbow, Dave. That's why the intentional foul was called.
Anthony Hardaway, by the way, is going to come back in. There's Larry Finch telling Sidney Coles, keep your head, son, keep your head. Just a freshman from Lewisburg, West Virginia. He is Bimbo Coles' brother. And let's take a look.
Take a look at how this play was set up. Watch the elbow. That, in some books, could be an ejection. The officials chose to give an intentional foul. 2 shots for Cincinnati.
Durden, who shoots almost 89%, makes the first. He gets one more. Suddenly it's 27-22.
4 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the half. Let's see if this play might change the complexion of this game.
Durden makes it a 4-point game. There's Bob Huggins. Now he's calm and cool and collected.
Anthony Hardaway's back in the game. After the intentional foul, Cincinnati gets the 2 free throws and they get possession of the ball.
Could be a big swing in this game because Memphis State had the ball, so already it's a 2-point swing, and it could be 4.
Tigers are playing great defense right now. Not allowing Cincinnati to catch the ball where they want it.
And Memphis State comes out and extends their defense much like Cincinnati. Van Exel forced there, and the rebound to Douglas.
Anthony Douglas does such a great job. Hit a career high 15 rebounds versus Florida Atlantic on Wednesday.
It's a different game when Anthony Hardaway's in. He took that shot, but you have to watch him so closely, and other people get open because of it.
Absolutely.
Smith, he forced that one. Got it on the foul anyway. That's on Van Exel, and that's just the first on Nicky Van Exel. How did Bobby Huggins get him from Kenosha, Wisconsin? All that Big Ten country, and Van Exel slipped through?
Well, Nick was not a qualifier coming out of school. Had to go to the junior college, so therefore he kind of got lost again. But Bob Huggins and his staff, Larry Harrison and Steve Bowler, actually get out and beat the bushes, and they find a guy like Nick Van Exel.
Billy Smith's hit his last 3 free throws, 3 for 5, now 4 for 6. The Tiger lead back to 5. We thought we'd have a dandy, and we're getting that here. One stat to remember about Billy Smith, Derek, if he scores 20, Memphis State doesn't lose, or at least that's been the history. They're 9-0.
Memphis State going man-to-man, full-court pressure.
And the turnover immediately. A rare smile from Larry Finch. This crowd definitely into the game.
Take a look at Keith Greger. Greger had a chance. Was it a turnover or was it a basket after that play? Before that play, Memphis State
that was a free throw.
So Keith Greger could have actually run the baseline. That's a freshman mistake.
Look at the turnovers, a big part of this story. 11-5 now. Allen has to kick it out.
Cincinnati going into their matchup zone.
Memphis State looks and recognizes it. Allen had that blocked. He's usually the shot blocker. Hardaway lost the handle. Van Exel just absolutely slipped and fell.
Looked like Penny Hardaway might have hit him from the heels.
Billy Smith bad, but there's the follow by Allen. It won't count, and I think you've got either a charge or a block down low.
Block on Corey Blunt.
And Nicky Van Exel sitting underneath the other bucket, just wondering what's going on here.
Nick Van Exel is going to get the steal. He did not. No one touched him. He did trip over his own feet. Looking for the call from the officials. Billy Smith takes the ball, going to go strong to the hoop. Corey Blunt does not get there in time.
Derek, Nick Van Exel sat underneath the other bucket for a good minute. Andre Petilla, the referee, came over, said, "Are you okay?" He said yes. And now he just finally walks back into your picture. Smith now 6 of 8 from the line after that horrendous start.
Tigers are gaining some confidence right now because of their great defensive play and forcing turnovers by the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Lead back to 8. Biggest margin either team has enjoyed this game. Memphis State's done it twice now. There's another turnover. The pressure affecting the Bearcats.
Give credit to the Memphis State defense.
Allen got it.
Tigers out to their biggest lead at 10 points. doing a great job at stealing the basketball and turning it around and attacking the Cincinnati Bearcats inside the paint.
And that really is the story, Derek. Memphis State had fallen behind by 4 to this team, 16-12. Then they went to pressure defensively, and they have caused 13 turnovers to 6 for the Tigers themselves.
Take a look at Van Exel looking up the court, not being able to get Terrence Gibson. Anthony Douglas is going to take the ball back down, and what Memphis State does, they don't look to bring the ball back out. Penny Hardaway looks to attack, get the ball inside, get it in on the block, and attack Cincinnati's pressure before they get their defense set and try to score.
I think another factor you have to look in this game is that Memphis State is 13 of 19 from the free throw line, where Cincinnati is only 5 of 6. And the Tigers have out-rebounded now the Bearcats 17-16. Cincinnati rarely gets out-rebounded, and rarely do they have a minus when it comes to the turnover ratio.
Absolutely. Cincinnati is known for forcing the turnovers, but, you know, believe it or not, this crowd here at the Pyramid, it makes a big difference, especially to young players coming in here like Cincinnati's players who have some freshmen who are not familiar with it.
A lot of people like to compare last year's Cincinnati's team to this year's. It's a tough comparison for sure. Your feelings, they went to the Final Four. You get on rolls, that's for sure, and you've got a whole season to build and to gel for that. But is the talent here to go as far as last year's team did?
That's still yet to be determined. I think it is a different face, a different character than what Cincinnati had last year, just as Memphis State is. But the difference I see right now is that Cincinnati has not played a complete, solid, good game. They play well in spurts. They played well enough, obviously, to have the record they have, but I think they're still waiting for the entire team to put one game together.
And some have sensed that maybe this team is ripe and ready for a loss. They came so close against UAB at home and so close at Miami of Ohio. It was Nick Van Exel to the rescue.
Well, they need to, Cincinnati, I think, needs to have someone come out there and take over and get the ball into the right hands of the right player.
Van Exel beat the pressure. Ooh, what a move. No. And the follow right back to Gibson, and he can't get it to go. And finally, Hardaway comes away.
Memphis State is doing a tremendous job not allowing Cincinnati to score.
Smith missed. And here comes Blunt the other way for the Bearcats. Oh, they're athletes out here or what? Nelson missed. Nobody can shoot, but they sure can run and jump. Finally, Blunt got it to go. 8 for him.
Great athletic ability by both these teams. I'm hoping Memphis State can maintain this consistency and this pace and tempo so that they bring this same level back out. Cincinnati is a much better team in the second half.
And Mitchell almost had that thing swiped away. Cincinnati picks up the defensive pressure just a little bit. Hardaway, yeah, got it back. Oh, and the pass to Allen, and then he gets it back.
Memphis State is not looking to shoot the ball. The fans want them to put it up.
Well, you're up by 8. You've got the basketball. Use the clock against a team like Cincinnati. It's now your ally.
The only problem, shot clock down to 7 with that, is if you get conservative, it takes you out of the rhythm that got you there.
3 seconds. Smith knows it. He lets it go from heaven. And even Billy Smith is smiling over that one.
That kind of play certainly typifies what's happening in this game right now for Memphis State Tigers.
Billy
Unbelievable.
Smith, he's got 17 points. Calvin Allen says, yeah, I know I did it. He was pointing at Larry Finch like he's tired. There's only a minute 1 to go.
Billy Smith, looking at the shot clock, is going to lean in from about 35 feet and rattle the bottom of the net.
Maybe the other side of the half-court line.
Tell you what, that'll get you a letter in the game, a horse.
I don't know. If you're playing, maybe not. Blunt with a 1-and-1 here. Corey, a good night thus far. Memphis State by 11. No. And over the back, Jackson, no doubt about it. That's the second on Alan Jackson.
Going to the line to shoot 2 shots. Douglas has done a great job, I thought, at rebounding. He's got 5 rebounds in this first half.
6 if you count that offensive rebound.
He's done a tremendous job at controlling the middle. for the Tigers.
Rebounds are even, and the big story has to be the turnovers and, of course, Memphis State's accuracy from the line. This is their 20th free throw attempt in the game.
In the first half.
Yeah. Here's an interesting story, Derek. This guy couldn't hit a free throw to save his life his freshman year. In his second year, he comes back and he drains him at a 90% rate. This year, he's back down to 58%. Go figure.
I don't know, but it's concentration, and obviously he worked on it during the summer, his first year, and now he has to continue to work on that and improve game by game.
There's the biggest lead of the night now at 13, and Douglas will leave. Remember, he's got the 2 fouls, so he takes a seat on the bench. Gerald Horn comes in.
Anthony Douglas has done a great job. Not a great scorer inside, but what he gives Larry Finch is leadership and consistency.
Memphis State continues the pressure. Van Exel slides on through. You stay patient here, right?
Absolutely. You stay patient, trying to get the best shot available.
What goes inside? That was the best shot available, and Gerald Horn reached in before any kind of shot was taken. That's the 10th now on Memphis State, so it'll be 2 for Cincinnati.
It's an area that Cincinnati started exploiting early in the game, try to get the ball in the low block, but they went away from it. And they didn't just go away from it, Memphis State took them away from it, pressuring Cincinnati outside so they could not look for or make that pass.
Martin nails the first, and does Cincinnati need that one, and he's got 7 in the game. There's been balance from 3 of the starters, but after that, nobody has really stepped forward. Even Durden has only just the 2, and he's been hot. That one won't go. Allen with the rebound. And Memphis State now can play for the last shot.
Shot clock is off, down to about 30 seconds in this half.
Nearly backcourt. It's even difficult against Cincinnati's defense to take a final shot because they keep coming at you, and a lot of times they'll double team. And now Babiola tells Hardaway the 5 seconds is counting. Great steal, Jackson, and he missed it. Van Exel before the shot got fouled by Billy Smith. That's the first on Billy Smith, and Memphis State did not take care of the basketball. They could have played for that final shot and had at least a 13-point lead, 12-point lead, and maybe a 15-point advantage.
Well, that's the problem you get when you go away from the pace and the tempo that you've established to get the lead you have. You start bringing the ball back out, and players get a little conservative with it in terms of their passing. Memphis State had their pocket picked with A.D. Jackson going down for the steal, but he missed the layup.
Van Exel perfect from the line so far. Now 3 for 3, and the lead cut down to 11.
Let's see if the Tigers get this ball and run up the court trying to attack Cincinnati back on their heels.
Nicky Van Exel knocks them both down. He's got 10 and a half, and here's Hardaway to play for the last shot. There's this jump step, and some people think that's a travel, but he talks to the referees about that before the game to make sure it's okay. He draws the foul with 4.1, so no matter what happens, Cincinnati should get one more attempt.
I think they will. Anthony Hardaway was about to go airborne, and I think dunked the ball on the entire Cincinnati basketball team.
That way is just so much fun to watch. Durden into the game. Nelson will leave.
What Anthony Hardaway gives you is a ball handler at 6'7", 6'8". He gives you a great passer. He gives you a great rebounder. Also gives you a guy who plays and works his every motion is working hard on defense, and he also steals the ball. He plays great passing lanes, and he is one of the nicest human beings in the entire country.
Knocked them both down. He's only got 6 on the night.
He doesn't need to score.
I know, he's got 5 assists already.
Which adds for another 10 points.
3 rebounds, 3 steals. And Exel's going to have to take it at the half. He's done this before, not today. 40-28. Memphis State surprising everybody. The Pyramid on their feet. Their Tigers lead the Bearcats by 12.
I like what Memphis State has done. I like what Memphis State has done. They forced Cincinnati uncharacteristically into the 12-13 turnovers, but also uncharacteristically, Cincinnati has given up 40 points in the first half, the most by the Bearcats this year.
Cincinnati will start things off. And Van Exel did his job defensively, offensively, I should say, in the first half. Neither player on any team, I should say, has had any kind of foul trouble that's significant at this point.
Intensity, level of intensity. Let's see if both of these teams can continue to maintain that.
Both teams start the same way they did in the first half.
Curtis Bostic did not play much the first half.
Started slow. Here's Martin with a sweet move and got it, and he's fouled. And that is exactly the way Cincinnati wanted to start this second half.
As we said, this is the most points that Cincinnati's given up in the first half, but 7 points off of those 13 turnovers and 9-point advantage at the free throw line by Memphis State Tigers. But Eric Martin has to be more assertive, one on the offensive end, but also on the rebounding board for Bob Huggins to stay in this basketball game.
That one wouldn't go, so the three-point play not completed.
Another rebound.
There's, by the way, his second foul in the game.
Another rebound by Anthony Douglas, who's doing a very steady job once again.
He had 15 the other night against Florida Atlantic, and that was a career high for him. Wide open Coles. He's got to take that shot. Would not go, but Allen got it back for Memphis State and a new clock.
Second shot opportunity again by the Tigers.
Billy Smith wide open. Now he's got 20. We know that's significant. Memphis State has never lost when he scored 20 points.
Cincinnati cannot give up second and third shot opportunities. If it happens, Memphis State is going to come away with this victory.
Blunt wanting to go inside. Look at Billy Smith draping over Nick Van Exel. Bostic, you mentioned, was so very quiet in the first. He looks like George Foreman.
Well, he does. As a matter of fact, ESPN had a comparison on he with George Foreman. George's face is a little puffier, but indeed, they do have a lot of similar characteristics.
George got hit a lot. Apparently, Bostic hasn't. There's a tough move, and Alan Jackson.
Player we talked about at the top of the show about being consistent and having been consistent for Bob Huggins.
Memphis State handling the pressure beautifully. Here's Smith again, in and out, and Allen once more makes the move. The rebound comes down to Blunt.
Another second chance opportunity by Memphis State.
11-point game. There's a careless, I thought it was a turnover, but apparently Douglas knocked it away. The quick hands of Douglas, I didn't even see it.
Quicker than the eye.
Yes, sir. That's what makes magic work.
And Penny work.
Alan Jackson tries to get his team to cut into this lead. It's an 11-point Memphis State advantage.
So unfortunate to use comparisons like Anthony Hardaway versus Magic Johnson, but you have to like what these guys do out on the basketball court, and I think Anthony Hardaway has the ability to someday be that type of a player.
Larry Finch not happy that Cincinnati has just gotten so many second chances. You talked about Memphis State with them, but here's the third or fourth opportunity now for the Bearcats in this possession.
Cincinnati does a great job with getting more production the second half than they do the first, and that's one way of doing it.
Van Exel's first two this half, 12 for him in the game, and now the lead is down to 9. 4 in a row for the Bearcats. Crowd kind of quiet. Oh, a good pass to Hardaway. He draws the foul. It wouldn't go. You know what? He does such a good job of protecting the ball with his body and drawing the foul. That is what an NBA-type player will do.
Absolutely. What Penny does, take a look at the pass going to the middle. As soon as he gets the ball, he attacks. He's looking to score or get to the foul line, but as you say, he uses his body to shield the defender off and still has enough concentration to try to get the ball up to the goal. He missed this shot, but he's going to make more than he's going to miss.
And he makes the first. For Hardaway, that's what, 5 of 7 from the line, and Memphis State continues to be hot from the stripe.
It's what we call an impact player, able to change the game when he steps on the floor.
The lead back to double digits for Memphis State. They are not pressuring like they were for most of this first half.
Well, that's just the level of intensity. You have to maintain that, and that's what's hard to do for a lot of teams. Cincinnati practices this way every day.
The three, Jackson goes. 5 for him in this half. Averages 8 a game. He was shut out in the first half.
Cincinnati trying to get back into this game one basket at a time. In order to do that, they need a defensive stop. Memphis State needs to continue to attack. Don't go away from what got you there.
Douglas got it. Did he use the backboard there? And if so, did he call it?
I don't think he called it, but the basket does count. Anthony Douglas was able to get the shot over a defender, and I think in putting up the arc, was able to get the kiss off the glass.
Well, Memphis State did move the ball well that time, but Cincinnati played good D and forced a bad shot. The Tigers got a break there. Oh, Martin with the good move, draws the foul. It's on Calvin Allen, I believe.
It's a second foul. Cincinnati trying to exploit the inside. Get the ball down low on the block if you can. A.D. Jackson looking inside for Eric Martin. Martin gets his balance and a head fake to get the defender up to change a couple of light bulbs in the pyramid.
They can get up there. Eric Martin, who always looked like he's in a bit of pain.
Eric had a nasty fall a couple of weeks ago. Came down from about 5 or 6 feet in the air. Had a concussion, a sprained wrist, and also a bruised hip, and is still trying to recover from that.
Struggling from the line today. Missed it, but look at Blunt, who makes this thing a two-point possession nonetheless. A big bucket there for Blunt. Now he's in double figures, and the Memphis State lead cut under double figures. Billy Smith gave it up to Hardaway.
Memphis State has 2 outside weapons on the floor, Billy Smith and Anthony Hardaway. Coles has to at least look at the basket.
Has taken 1 shot in the game, that's it. Memphis State really patient here.
Very patient, this exchange.
Douglas almost lost the handle. It goes, it counts.
Anthony Douglas is a very consistent player. He's the most consistent player on the Tigers. They call him the Warrior because what he does, if he gets the ball in his possession and is close to the hoop, Corey Blunt's trying to draw the foul. Actually, Terry Nelson gets charged with the foul, but Anthony Douglas uses his strength. 6'7", 270 pounds. I think he'd make a good offensive lineman.
Well, you know, he's going to play football next year at Memphis State. They've saved a scholarship for him. As a junior in high school, he was all-state in Tennessee at tight end. He could play defensive line as well. Decided his senior year he wanted to play football, gave up, rather play basketball, gave up football, and now he's got an extra year of eligibility because of the Prop 48 rules, and he will play football. Yes, that free throw bet. He's got 10 in the game, and the lead is 10. And Memphis State's pressure picked up. He just skates by everybody. Oh, that ball was blocked by Hardaway.
Looked like his arm might have been hit on the play.
You're right. Fans giving him the business about the air ball. Smith wide open for the 3. Got it!
Memphis State is looking with a lot of patience, attacking the Cincinnati pressure. Doing a great job.
13-point lead. They'd cut it to 8, and now it's back up to the 13 mark. Bostic's got to get into this game. I've seen him take over games. He's been so quiet today.
Very, very quiet in this game. But give credit to the Tigers defense. They've done a great job.
12 on the shot clock. Blunt, no, but he got it right back. And missed that one. And Coles got the rebound from Memphis State, and they want to run. Hardaway, got it. Oh, a charge. Do not count the basket. Hardaway's second foul. That's a big plus for Cincinnati. They would have been down 15. They get the ball back in a moment. Down only 13.
Once the Tigers do play good defense, get the ball to the hands of Penny Hardaway. Is the position established? From this angle, it looked like A.D. Jackson might have been there. Take a look. Are you stationary? Set. You make the call.
Close call. Tough one to make. It could go either way. It goes to Cincinnati, and they need it. Penny wasn't too happy about it, but them's the breaks. Since Memphis State has had many of those so far this afternoon, too. Oh, way to beat the pressure. And a no-doubt Martin slam.
Cincinnati not getting back on defense. Penny Hardaway finishing the play off.
He wanted to say no doubt slam as well as Martin's, I think, and he answered. Bostic, tough move. Yes.
Both teams are running up the court again.
Billy Smith. No, Martin got it back. 3-on-1. Van Exel got it. No.
Bring it back. Charge.
Now that's what you want from referees. It went one way, they give it back the other way. Consistency.
Take a look at Van Exel going in. Anthony Douglas, yes, he does have position. That is a good call. Van Exel had an opportunity to pass the ball left or right. He does not make the proper move.
Billy Smith, no, got it back, yes.
Athletic ability coming out of his ears. Billy Smith hanging past Corey Blunt, misses his shot, gets his own rebound for the stick back.
Lead again, 13, time ticking down. Hacked by Coles, no doubt about it, right in front of us. That is number 3 on the freshman from Lewisburg, West Virginia.
Neither team in foul trouble.
Leon Mitchell getting set to come in for Memphis State, I'm sure, for Sidney Coles. Patience by Cincinnati. They're down 13, but you don't go away from your game plan. Well, there's the long shot, and Hardaway controls. They tried to go to Smith, and there's a kick, and that's good defense by Cincinnati. New shot clock for Memphis State. The Bearcats really get back, although they've been exploited a couple of times here today. The general rule is you cannot run transition basketball on this team.
It's very difficult to run transition basketball on both teams because they are so quick and so athletic in terms of covering their offensive glass. However, if you get the rebound and look up court on either one of these teams, you can get out for fast break and easy opportunities.
Hardaway found Leon Mitchell. And Memphis State with a couple of too many passes there.
Fans wanted a foul.
Larry Finch can't believe he didn't get it. 13 minutes left to go in this game. Cincinnati works on a 13-point deficit. Not too many times you can say that about this team in the last couple of years. They've dominated some folks, including Memphis State 4 times in a row last year. Foul on Allen, and that's not a very good foul.
No, it isn't. Memphis State's trying to seal off Cincinnati and not allow the player to turn and make the pass he wants to make. And it's closing out. Kelvin Allen got a little bit too close.
The second Memphis State player now with 3. 5 on the team in the half.
Cincinnati's gone away again from looking inside to get the ball down on the block.
Bostic from way outside. You want him a little closer. Hardaway came away with a rebound. Stolen away by Cincinnati. Blunt got it to go.
The fans wanted a trap. They wanted a charge on Corey Blunt.
Almost a 5-second call. Finally into Sidney Coles, and he runs to the middle the way you're told to. Then threw it away, looking for Leon Mitchell underneath.
A good opportunity by Mitchell to try to attack the basket. Chose to dish it off Coles right inside the foul line. You have to be a little more intelligent with the ball. Pull it back or get the ball up on the glass.
You really like to go at the hoop when you've got a lead like this?
Absolutely. I think you go at the hoop because you don't go away from what got you there. If you start to get conservative, you will make turnovers. 12
minutes to go in the game. Cincinnati down 11. They've been down by 13 a couple of times. The closest they've been this half is 8. And there is a whistle underneath.
If you get conservative with the basketball, this is what's happened with Cincinnati in the past. Teams got conservative, the Bearcats start to come back.
There's a big foul call. I think it's on Anthony Hardaway. That will concern Larry Finch, but his team does lead by 11.
You start it every morning. Start after start after start. When most of your oil is still down in the pad, you start metal-to-metal contact. You start engine wear. Now help stop it with the latest breakthrough from STP. New engine treatment. It bonds right to engine parts. Independent tests proved it. Just add a quart at your next oil change and help stop engine wear before you start with new STP engine treatment.
Piggly Wiggly salutes academic achievement at Memphis State University with a $500 donation to the General Academic Scholarship Fund. Memphis State began as a small teachers college, so the College of Education has built a reputation for innovative teacher training that addresses the challenges and needs of today's students. Students like Sherry Knoll, through a partnership with local schools and ongoing research, are committed to the successful education of the next generation of citizens. Piggly Wiggly recognizes the pursuit of excellence at Memphis State University. Congratulations to Sherry Knoll and the College of Education.
You know, working at AutoZone is more than looking up parts or ringing up sales. Most of all, it's listening.
Nick Van Exel is trying to attack the basket. Eric Martin is going to make the finish on this end. However, Memphis State turns around and goes right back to the other end of the court, looking to get the ball to Penny Hardaway, who goes airborne for the finish.
Just say that one again with a little more flourish. That was good.
I'm sure we'll get another chance.
I think you will. I like that. Airborne, for sure. Both teams have the athletes. They wanted to go inside Van Exel. Good defense by Leon Mitchell.
Good defense still being played by the Tigers out front, not allowing Cincinnati to go where they want to go.
Memphis State has held the last 7 opponents under 36% field goal percentage. So they have learned to play their style of defense as well as Cincinnati. Van Exel, the tough move, and got it to go. He's got 14.
Nick Van Exel is another part of the new breed, one of the scoring point guards. Has the ability to shoot the three or take it to the glass, just like Penny Hardaway. That time he chose to take it inside.
You talked about Penny playing in the NBA. What about Van Exel?
I think Van Exel has a very good chance. Everywhere I go, I see NBA scouts following both these teams, and I think there's a good opportunity for both these two players, Hardaway and Van Exel, to go to that next level.
Plenty of time on the shot clock, 15. Memphis State doesn't mind using up a bunch of clock. They've got the 9-point lead. Mitchell, 8 seconds. Hardaway, inside Allen. He's fouled.
Curtis Bostic made the foul from the backside.
A quiet night for Curtis Bostic. Only 2 points. He averages 11.
Take a look at this great pass by Hardaway. Once again, to draw the defense. Bostic gets the foul from the backside, but give credit to Penny Hardaway, finding his teammates once he draws the defense to himself.
And Kelvin Allen complained about maybe a goaltend, but it was clearly blocked. So Allen gets 2. He's 3 of 4 from the line. Back to double digits for Memphis State. 6 points for Allen. 10:46 to go in the game. There's the foul trouble. Look at that, 5 players.
Still got a long way to go, a little over 10 minutes.
You still sense this game's going down to the wire. Allen missed that one.
I think there's a chance.
10-point game. Van Exel in no hurry. 20,142, a sellout here at the Pyramid watching this game. Oh, good pass into Martin. And he missed the shot. And Hardaway, who's got 3 fouls, kind of just stood there. Couldn't do anything but that.
Cincinnati got what they wanted, get the ball down on the block. Eric Martin could not finish.
Billy Smith couldn't penetrate, has to kick it out. Hardaway for 3. No, it was an air ball. Allen lost the handle, got it back. And they say it hit the back of the backboard, so it belongs to Cincinnati. Bearcats need the break. They're down by 10. Bob Huggins is saying, keep your head up.
Get the ball, get the score under 10 points. Give you a psychological edge, a barrier to get back in this game. That's what Cincinnati looks for.
In the paint down low, no. Before the shot, a foul.
Anthony Douglas.
And on 6, that will be number 3. And don't forget now, tickets remain for the Great Midwest Conference Tournament being played at the Pyramid in Memphis, but only about 5,000 are left. All 3 days of exciting Great Midwest Tournament action available for only $75 a person. You may order tickets through any Great Midwest school or by calling the Memphis State University ticket office at 901-678-2331. Come on down to the river. You'll love the building and you'll love the city. Southern hospitality. Martin got it to go. And the lead now 9.
Memphis State's in the bonus. They're over the limit for fouls.
17 fouls on the Tigers. As you point out, 4 on Cincinnati. Martin buries them both, and those are big. It's an 8-point game. Just under the halfway mark of the second half. Oh, Hardaway
will make you pay.
Yeah, he gave it up though. Here's Smith, who's been hot all day. No, and the rebound. Allen, how did he get through? A hold call on Cincinnati. That one could have gone either way. That's a break for Memphis State. Nelson picks up the foul. I've got him for 3.
An opportunity blown by Cincinnati. Memphis State misses the jumper from the corner. Cincinnati allows. Take a look at the shot going up by Billy Smith, who already has a career-high 25 points. Cincinnati fails to block out Terry Nelson gets called for the hold.
Douglas got it. So the second chance pays off for Memphis State.
Douglas banked in the first one in the first half. This time he hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Lead is 10 again. And Exel gliding to the hoop, and that one wasn't. What a rebound by Martin, and he puts it away.
An area that Eric Martin can do any time he wants.
He's got 15. Allen had it stolen by Van Exel. Great play by Nicky Van Exel. And he'll take the 3. No! Loose inside. It's knocked off of Martin, out of bounds. Rather Bostic. It'll belong to Memphis State.
Is that confidence by Van Exel?
I thought that thing was in. It was halfway down and it popped out.
He had numbers, and that's why Van Exel chose to pull back. Instead of going in and attacking the glass, he felt like his 2 offensive players had a chance for the rebound.
Martin's been the story offensively for the Bearcats, particularly in this half. 7 in this half and 14 in the game. Another 15 and 8 in this half as I double-check the numbers. Just under 9 minutes to go. And Memphis State trying to get back up on double digits. It's an 8-point game. Great steal, but Hardaway got it back. Look at the pass to Smith, and now he's got 27.
Outstanding move by Penny Hardaway. Strip the ball away, keep control of it. Once he has possession, gives up his 9th assist inside.
Looking at a double-double for just about sure. He's got 10 points. Crowd back up as the lead is 10. Blunt the hook. What a shot by Blunt.
It's a shot that Corey Blunt likes to shoot, but he's fading away from the basket. Bob Huggins would like to see him continue to attack and go inside.
Smith had the notion. Arm checks Bostic. Memphis State re-triggers the offense. 30 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Game clock down near 8 minutes.
Cincinnati going back to the matchup zone. Big play. Turnover by the Tigers.
Unforced error by Memphis State. Cincinnati only down 8. Bob Huggins' team hanging by 8, and Billy Smith's having a career night.
Yeah, but he's got the help of his friends. Penny Hardaway picks up the ball and knows what to do with it. Billy Smith can finish with the best of them.
Speaking of finishing, how about the other side and Corey Blunt?
Well, Corey Blunt gets the ball in his hands, and this is a patented move for him, that fade-away, lifelong standing hook.
Pressure by Memphis State with some traps, and Cincinnati no problem. Van Exel now gets into the half-court offense.
Memphis State's going to a zone. 2-3 zone, going to force Cincinnati to shoot the ball from the outside.
First time Memphis State has thrown up a zone. A little earlier, Cincinnati had that matchup zone. For the most part, it's been mano-a-mano and hard, intense stuff. Now, there is a bad shot, but look at the second chance. Martin again.
Van Exel was trying to draw the foul. Shot selection again, not very good for Nick Van Exel, but Eric Martin was there because he had great rebounding inside position. 17
points and 7 rebounds for Martin in this game. He's having a whale of a contest.
6 on the offensive end.
Blunt reached in on Anthony Douglas. You'll get a good look if we see this thing again, how well Douglas uses his body to fend off much taller players, because he's only 6'6".
Well, only being 6'6", 6'7", at 270 pounds, most of his body is behind him, and he's able to use his entire body to shield off taller defenders. Corey Blunt at 6'10".
Durden in the game replacing Gibson. 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the game. It's a 6-point contest. Cincinnati's been down by 13 twice in the game. This is as close as they've been in the second half. Douglas keeping that ball high, nowhere to go.
Cincinnati still in their matchup defense, going to try to force the Tigers to shoot an outside shot.
Douglas does shoot it. He missed it. Allen got the rebound taken away by Bostic, and here comes Van Exel on the run. Hardaway's there. Van Exel makes it go, and we've got a 4-point game.
Penny Hardaway with 3 fouls could not afford to touch Van Exel, who was coming right at him.
Let's see if Penny calls timeout. He does. Larry Finch took off his jacket. That was the first hint that he was going to call a timeout. The lead from 13 to only 4.
With each new day, you find a way to be your best.
Gillette Sensor for the closest, safest shave ever.
You know you gotta be
About it, you got to continue to work with what got you to the dance. Cincinnati's going to exploit the inside, getting the ball on the block. Eric Martin trying to find a teammate open. Nick Van Exel is going to force his shot, but Martin is there to get the rebound. But the Tigers have gone away from attacking Cincinnati inside. Cincinnati has gone back to what got him the lead, got him started at the beginning of the game.
That pressure was so intense by Memphis State, causing those 13 turnovers in the first half. Penny lost the ball. Smith tries to save it, hits Jackson, but here he goes. Hardaway blocked it, but he picks up foul number 4, and that's critical.
Cincinnati scored the last 6 straight points and are on a 16-7 run by making good defensive plays.
Now you got to worry about, well, you look at those scoring leaders. Where's Penny? He's only got 10 in the game, and now that 4 fouls. So he's really got something to think about. Smith's going to leave the game. Coles comes in. You got to wonder now how effective Hardaway will be on defense.
Well, Bob Huggins is very good at attacking a player who's in trouble, especially a guy like Anthony Hardaway. Look for Cincinnati the next couple of times down unless Memphis State's in a zone to try to exploit that opportunity.
Jackson misses a big free throw there. It's still 4. You figure that the Tigers will go to that zone and play Hardaway somewhere in the middle to keep him away from foul trouble and get some rebounds.
A.D. Jackson shooting only 63% from the line. Cincinnati as a team is only shooting 66.
Missed them both. But there goes the rebound to Bostic. Oh, did he get he looked like Foreman on that, pulling his way in. Van Exel the 3. No! And the rebound back to Cincinnati. They'll re-trigger the offense. A smart move, and Jackson looks at the zone.
This is why Cincinnati is the number 4 team in the country. They know how to do what's necessary to stay close in a basketball game.
Under 6 minutes. Van Exel right by Hardaway. He knew he had trouble, and Van Exel now with 18 matches his season's average, and suddenly that 13-point lead is 2.
That's the experience of Nick Van Exel now attacking inside. Penny Hardaway just held his hand up, wanting a breather maybe. Or is he looking for Larry Finch to call a play?
Looking for the play, I think. Coles. Here's Newsom, who loves to shoot. No, and the rebound to Cincinnati and Martin, who's having a whale of a game. Van Exel gives it up. The shot from the corner. The 3! It's Jackson, and suddenly Cincinnati leads.
The Memphis State Tigers are looking to Larry Finch to make a decision. Billy Smith's coming back in the game, but Cincinnati with this matchup zone has caused Memphis State some problems with their outside shot, but they're still not attacking the goal.
Douglas does that time, no. Allen right through his legs, but Hardaway saves the day. Newsom open again, makes the stutter step. Good pass into Douglas, wide open, got it.
Anthony was so wide open, he wasn't sure what to do with the ball, but he did get the finish about 5 feet away.
Again, a 1-point lead for Memphis State, and the crowd gets in it with 4:36 remaining.
Now the Tigers have gone back to their press.
Van Exel has Bostic in and out, and the rebound to Newsom, the freshman.
Big possession for Memphis State. Do they attack or do they bring it out?
Hardaway attacked and missed it. Newsom had the ball. Jump ball call. It goes to Memphis State.
Both these teams are physically and mentally exhausted because of the tempo, the pace of this game.
Cincinnati was down 13 twice. They never faltered. They kept coming back slowly but surely. That matchup zone totally confused Memphis State. Great pass inside Penny. And he draws the foul. He's upset that it wouldn't go.
Penny is such a great player. I mean, we talk about him again and again and again, but using his body once again to grab the play, grab the ball inside. Once he gets the ball inside, watch how he uses his body to seal off Corey Blunt to draw that foul and almost get it to fall.
For Corey Blunt, foul number 3. Hardaway getting 2 to 17 fouls on Cincinnati. The lead back to a deuce for Memphis State. We figured even when it was at 13, this game was going to come down to the end.
Well, I've seen Cincinnati play quite a few times, and they're a team that doesn't give up. What they do is they tighten up their defense. The second half is when they really bring out the best of their team. They've only given up 25 points in the second half. They gave up 40 in the first.
Hardaway 12 points now, 9 assists, 5 rebounds in the game. Here's the pressure. And Exel looking for help. Close to 5 seconds now. He got it, 5 seconds. Fabiola makes the call.
This is what got Memphis State the lead. This is what Memphis State has to do to maintain the lead. Continue to pressure Cincinnati and not allow them to get into their rhythm.
Well, you observed that during the run. You said, what are they doing? And finally they went back to the pressure. Maybe you can only do it so long in a game, especially when you're not as deep as Cincinnati is. Memphis State doesn't have the numbers.
Well, Memphis State has a great leader out there in Penny Hardaway, but they have to continue to maintain the intensity, get other players involved. We talk about the bench being involved with the scoring. Talk about Billy Smith being able to get off the mark. Penny Hardaway is the man who's able to distribute the basketball, has not looked to score, but he's done a great job with just his leadership.
Memphis State happy to sit on the 3-point lead because of the problems with fouls on Hardaway, the 4. They'll use the clock to the end. They've got Smith, Newsom, and Hardaway who can't all score. This is probably their most potent offensive lineup. The screen, the 3, Penny, no! And Bostic comes away with a ball. Cincinnati can tie here with a 3. Van Exel for the deuce. Yes!
A.D. Jackson finding Nick Van Exel up the court, who was wide open for the deuce. But again, Memphis State is getting conservative. They're going away from what brought them to the dance. They're not attacking the goal. Cincinnati's back into the matchup zone defense.
Hardaway 0 for 6. That was blocked. Great play by Blunt on the freshman. 3 on 2. Van Exel pops from outside. No, the rebound. Newsom came back and got it for Memphis State. Still a 1-point game. 2:45 left to go.
Bob Huggins is yelling foul. Both these teams are mentally exhausted. The pace of this game is unbelievable.
Hardaway had it knocked away. And a tie-up, the whistle goes, where the arrow going to Cincinnati. Fans thought Hardaway may have gotten roughed up. Hardaway struggling here from outside. 0 for 6 from 3-point range, only 2 for 10 from the field.
Penny Hardaway's averaging only about 11 or 12 points a game against Cincinnati in the 4 games they played last year.
Coles is going to come in. Hardaway's going to leave.
With 4 fouls, it's not a bad decision by Larry Finch. He's just going to bring him out for a second, let him catch his breath. He is tired.
He looks like he's tired, particularly the last few shots he put up in the air. Here's that pressure. Smith all over. Jackson finally beats Memphis State by 1. 2:15 to go. You can feel the butterflies in this place. It's been a spectacular game the whole way.
Cincinnati wants to get the ball inside.
Here's Van Exel. No, and it hit the top of the backboard.
Nick Van Exel struggling to find his stroke from the outside. All the Cincinnati players standing up, waiting for that ball to go down. The Memphis State fans holding their breath.
Van Exel giveth and Van Exel taketh away on occasion. Hardaway back in the game. Newsom takes a seat on the bench. Nelson comes into the game, and Bostic will get a breather. 1:59 left to go. 65-64 Memphis State, and the Tigers have the ball. Cincinnati 4-0 in league play, 17-1, fourth ranked in the country. Memphis State 13-7 and 2-2 in league play. There was almost a turnover there.
This is a big possession for the Tigers. They need a score or get to the foul line.
Coles nowhere to go.
Cincinnati, on the other hand, needs a stop.
Coles is going to shoot it. No, and the rebound to Kelvin Allen. And Allen looks for some help. There's Hardaway, and he calls timeout immediately.
Big possession.
65-64. Bob Huggins' team still scrapping. It's going to be close. A little bit of everything, including some stars.
Well, I talked to Spike Lee before the game and asked him why was he here. He said, I came to see a great game. I don't think he's been disappointed. You and I have enjoyed it. I think all the fans here in the Pyramid have indeed enjoyed it also.
20,000 plus, and they're on their feet as Hardaway gets set to try to secure this game for his Tigers. He'll inbound the ball.
It's very difficult to maintain for Cincinnati the level of concentration it takes necessary and the pressure to be the number 3, number 4 team in the country. And they've handled it well, but I mean, this is a great game by the Memphis State Tigers. I like what Larry Finch has done on the defensive end. He had a great game plan coming up, and they need to continue with about a minute left and follow through with this game.
Give Cincinnati the credit, though. They were down by 13. You got a freshman in the game now at crunch time, and he's in trouble. Finally to Allen. And they'll kick it back out to Hardaway. They want to use the clock. Down to 10 on that shot clock. Remember, Hardaway's got the 4 fouls. Hardaway trying to draw something. Gets it to Smith. He lets the 3 go. No, the rebound. Newsome inside. Put it in. Or is it Allen?
Looked like Kelvin Allen made a great follow-up by Memphis State.
3-point game. The game clock on your screen. Inside, Martin got it to go. This game is far from over. Martin now 19 points in the game and a timeout by the Bearcats.
Both these teams are working their hearts out, trying to get the easiest shot available. Memphis State had a great opportunity with the outside shot, missed it, but Kelvin Allen came up with the big rebound to give the Tigers a 3-point lead. Going back on the other end, Cincinnati gets Eric Martin down low to put them down by 1 with only 18.3 seconds to go.
Do you think this is fun, Derek? How about March the 11th through the 13th right here at the Pyramid? About 5,000 tickets remain for the conference tourney right here on the bluffs of the Mississippi. All 3 days of great, exciting, great Midwest tourney action available for only $75 a person. That is a darn good price. You can order your tickets through any great Midwest school or by calling the Memphis State University ticket office. The number 901-678-2331. That's 901-678-2331. I got the feeling there will be a lot of these types of finishes.
I think so. I'll be here for that. I'll be working that game, so it's going to be a lot of fun to see the championship game.
There's Anthony Hardaway. Still on 9 assists, 12 points, and 5 rebounds. Well, Martin has done everything on both sides here, too. 19 points, 10 rebounds. He's got a couple of assists. He's been outstanding. The rebound battle to Cincinnati now, 39-37. That's been critical, but I think that matchup zone confounded Memphis State, and the Bearcats kept coming at you, and that's why we're so close right now.
Memphis State is going to go to the foul line. The choice is, who does Cincinnati foul? Tigers are 22 out of 30 from the free throw line so far on the evening.
Which is not bad, 73%.
Cincinnati shooting a whopping 56%. Some of those were the front ends of 1-and-1s.
Yeah, that hurt him. They get it into Coles. He's fouled immediately. Coles, 75% free throw shooter and has been clutch in some games, particularly in Maui. He was very good from the line against LSU in a game that Memphis State took home a W in.
The question is, this is a freshman.
Yep.
How does he do under pressure situation? And I think this is pressure.
Not only is this guy coming up to the line for the first time today. It's the first time in a couple of games, and he's scoreless. How big is this? Huge.
It is huge. No question about it.
Missed it. Cincinnati's got it, and they can win the game.
That's pressure.
Jackson kicks it off. There's the shot from the corner. No! The rebound to Memphis State and Hardaway. And quickly with 4.9 seconds, he's fouled.
Cincinnati had the opportunity. Lizelle Durden just checking into the game. Missed the jumper. Still 4.9 seconds to go. Penny Hardaway comes up with the big rebound. Take a look at A.D. Jackson kicking it out kicking the ball out to Cincinnati to be able to take that outside shot. Lizelle Durden misses it, comes in and fouls Penny Hardaway, who comes up with, I think, the rebound of the game.
But that is the guy that you want to take that shot. You were telling me that he's been hitting threes from 2 or 3 feet beyond the NBA three in this streak he's been in.
Lizelle Durden has great range, no question about it. He's had a problem again. Another player who sat out all of last year, who's not played in this building. He's had a problem finding his range on that shot. He was not able to find it.
Hardaway gives Memphis State a 2-point lead with the first end of the 1-and-1. Now the bonus, and this would ensure at least a tie with 4.9 seconds left to go.
Is this an opportunity for Memphis State to foul?
Douglas got it. Just waits to get fouled. And that's it. They didn't foul him. The Tigers win by 2, 68-66.